What if I get to a place where I'm like, yo, I'm loving her intelligence. We vibe, we have a good time. But it's like 3 months into it, and she's like, okay, I'm coming through. You know, just hang out for a little bit. I ain't doing no makeup today. How conflicted would I be if after all that vibe and I see her face and I'm just like, I can't.
To me, that's friend zone.
You ever got
T-minus 1 minute. T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What if I get to a place where I'm like, yo, I'm loving her intelligence. We vibe, we have a good time. But it's like 3 months into it, and she's like, okay, I'm coming through. You know, just hang out for a little bit. I ain't doing no makeup today. How conflicted would I be if after all that vibe and I see her face and I'm just like, I can't.
To me, that's friend zone.
You ever got somebody and you weren't their type? Somebody could say that they want you, but you not be what they wanted.
That's the biggest part of a successful relationship, is being able to accept each other as they are.
The more you accept them, the more they show you them. You can create yourself in a version of this person in your head that you become infatuated with.
Do you have any legitimate regrets as far as your choices of women?
Me and Mike have to have a conversation about my picker.
If you know that there's a person out there that's going to love you just for who you are to your own marrow, it alters the way you look at dating. It alters your picker.
I feel like I can put my partner on a pedestal.
I feel like you should.
I should feel unworthy at that altar. When the time comes for you to heal, are you willing to participate in your healing?
If your therapist doesn't have a therapist, fire them. This is 10 plus years of constantly facing myself.
They get to this place that we're starting to ask themselves, like, these things that I'm requiring, why does it need to be this way for me to be okay? Have that conversation with you.
That's why we have the podcast. So maybe this will help.
Maybe this will.
Golly, that brother's, she's coming in hot. Sheesh. Boy.
Ladies and gentlemen.
That guy said we're not gonna have no fade out. We're not gonna have no woo. Welcome to a new year,
Bruh.
Listen.
When they say trying new things, bro, just
Oh wow! Yeah.
I feel like this is a good segue because I feel like a lot of people are gonna be trying new things because it's a new year, and sometimes you gotta just laugh at yourself because how much are we gonna tell them what we're trying to do here, bro? We are trying a new thing here. We are trying to take the podcast to another level to get monetized. So we had to get rid of all the copywritten music that we were trying to use and use free stuff. And me and him are both looking at the intro like, okay, but it ain't our normal swag. It ain't our normal vibe. Yeah. And so that was different. So if y'all wondering why that was different, it was different for us too, man.
That was very corporate mainstream, like yeah. I don't listen, I don't hate it. It may just take some getting used to, honestly.
But do you love it? All right. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Maybe This Will Help the podcast. Season 5, episode 1, giving you that relationship talk you can relate to. The good, the bad, and the alimony. It's me, Dono Bueno, and my boy Mike D. And we ain't changing nothing else, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to give y'all the same good conversation we was giving y'all last year. Last year was a huge success. we feel like we planted the seeds we wanted to plant in this generation, and we had fun doing it. So with that being said, we're going to jump into season 5 the same way we left season 4 with a quick highlight of your week, bro. And then we're going to get into the conversation, man. What was the best part of your week?
Best part of my week. So my birthday was actually December 15th, but my brother, y'all may know him, took me out to lunch. We went out and hung out, and it's always interesting because whenever me and Donnie, this guy, whenever we like get together on some like let's just go hang out, it always turns into like this introspective, deep conversation, and not even on purpose. It happens literally every single time. And you know, we always leave like either having an aha moment or with something to think about. So
yeah,
I think our brother's lunch was probably the highlight of my week. It definitely, you know, and it's always something where you leave feeling like refreshed, like all right, yeah, and it's always that, yeah, you know what I mean? So
no, for sure.
It was good. It was good, and the food was dumb. If people in California, if you guys have never been to Hermosa Brewing Company in Hermosa Beach, I need to get there ASAP. It's so good. What did you have? You had
I had the salmon tacos and the lobster roll.
I had a regular old burger and some like loaded fries.
No, you had carne asada fries, bro.
Carne asada fries, yeah.
And that burger was nothing like regular. Y'all go check the video out. It's a quick little video, but that burger was for sure not regular.
Yeah, so that was the highlight of my week. What about yours?
You know, man, coming into the new year, you know, people, you know, praying, trying to strategize and put stuff together. And I came into it regular. I was like, okay, cool. It's another day for me. I work in seasons, right? Like whenever guys telling me to do a new thing, that's when I do it. I don't really follow the calendar like that. And so as I'm strategizing for this year, thinking about what I want to do over the next 3-6 months, and what I need to have in place, something came up in my spirit. You know what I'm saying? I was watching Transformation Church today, and something came in my spirit. I was just like, man, okay, God, like I don't feel distant from you. I feel close, but I also feel off. You know what I'm saying to you? And I'm like, so is it a shift happening? What does I need to be doing? And so I just prayed. I think the sermon was reset. And so I prayed, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do I need to reset? And what do I need to hyper focus on as it goes to like spirituality and my faith walk? And I said, I'm just going to be open. Dude, I got a chance to have a phone call today with my big sister from back when I was at the club. Me and her haven't spoken in like 20 years because, well, we had a discussion about why we hadn't spoken, and all the same love was still there, bro. She was telling me stories about when I left the club and leading up to it, stuff I didn't even remember about myself, stuff I didn't even remember that I did. And she was able to color in some of the details of a very monumental moment in my life that happened 2 decades ago that helps as helping aid me in understanding who I am a little bit more. You know what I'm saying to you? And it was just like a family reunion, bro. And I have to say that has to be the highlight of my week, man, because I feel like that's the direction God is leading me in. I don't know what to call it yet, but I know I felt it. And I was like, yo, this is why I need to hyper focus. Like the stuff she was exposing me to and telling me. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? I promised to like keep in touch and stuff like that. So that was a highlight of my week, just kind of getting some clarity, you know what I'm saying, on what it is that I need to focus on, that I can focus on spiritually, that's in season for me. So yeah, man, that was it for me, bro. Yeah.
Hey, K-Dub said it's her birthday tomorrow. Happy early birthday to you, Carrie.
Listen, I want to ask this question, because as I'm thinking back about like making a recap video, I'm wondering like what were some of your favorite moments of last year, and I'm also wondering what were some of the people's the podcast favorite moments of last year. And as I was looking through all these old episodes that we did, I only went back to like June, I was like, bro, we've been talking a lot. We've been on here a lot. We've been talking about a lot of topics, covering a lot of conversations. We had a few guests on. Like, is there any one episode in particular that sticks out to you?
So for me, it's gonna have to be the episode when Eric came on. For those that don't know, Eric is our me and Donnie have the same therapist, and so we had him on the show, and it was just like a live session. And it was really good. If you haven't
A live therapy session.
Right,
Yeah.
for real. I think, what was that, 2 episodes ago?
Nah, it was like 3 now.
3 episodes ago? Y'all go check it out. It's a great episode.
Listen, Pravina said having Eric on. Yeah, that was pretty solid, man.
Yep. What about you?
Man.
Because it's so many moments. There's so many, like, funny moments, deep moments, like.
It's hard not to pick one that just recently happened, right? But one of the first ones that comes up for me is a conversation we had about marrying according to birth order. That was a fun and that was a good conversation, bro. And I was having that conversation with one of my friends over at the little gather group that I go to. And they were talking about, did you guys take into consideration like ethnicity and cultural background when it comes to birth order and how it was different? I was just like, man, that was. Yeah, we barely scratched the surface, man. That was that made me really happy. And then another one of my favorite episodes when it was me, you, Donovan, and Carrie. It was all 4 of us on, and just how rich that conversation was, because we're all just from different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? It's always good having Donovan on because he got that strong, mental mindset type entrepreneurial approach, and so his background affords him a certain perspective. And yeah, man, it just made me think about who would we invite on the show this year. So people in the audience, if you got some suggestions of some men that you'd like to see that can hold a really good conversation, let us know so we can vet them out, and who knows, maybe
this is it.
Yeah. All right, bro. Well, how's your energy on a scale of 1 to 10, so I can see where I should start at tonight?
5.
Man. Shit, that's not. I don't know. That's all I got to work with, huh? All right. So let's start this way, because everybody knows that for me, Sunday is National Leg Day at the gym. And unfortunately, Mike didn't join me today.
I was doing stuff for my woman.
No, he was on some host stuff. So
not at all.
That train legs, and when they roll their little shorts up, and you can see their quad pump and their hammies, I'll go full retard. My IQ drops by 100 points, minimum. I'm full doing my box breathing in the middle of the gym, just trying to stabilize my heart rate. And if a quad father, by any fat chance, makes eye contact with me for more than 2 seconds, I've already planned our wedding. Our children's names, sorted. In my head, I'm already driving out of a Toyota dealership. Load that fucking Hilux up. I'm going to be a soccer mum. Oh, God, help me. And when I leave the gym, I'm going to be playing this fucking song.
Yo, I saw that video, and for so many reasons it jumped out to me. One, because like I'm about to start dating, right? And trying to find the right locations to start looking. But 2, before I even jump into that, I have enough female friends to know that they really do this.
Really?
They really have these conversations, and I have enough female friends that I'm cool with that is on some brother sister type stuff to let me know this is real. Wait a minute. Is that? And some people are just perverts. Usually their names perverts. Usually their name starts with a P. So I mean, you can figure that out.
That's a fact.
Paul, Priya, Pravina. Go ahead.
Wow. I mean, it's true. So let me ask you this though: do you ever wear anything to the gym for that?
I feel like he should probably text me this first before he asks me live on the air. Just, what was that?
Listen, are you going to the gym wearing, yo, hoochie daddy shorts and your
fix your tongue when you're talking to me. Fix your tongue.
Listen, brother.
What's happening?
Everybody that knows Donnie knows the niggas. This guy's.
This nigga told me he was on 5 tonight. I'm just wondering, like, or did you lie to me? Because this is a whole lot of energy you bringing my way in the wrong direction. Huh? What's happening?
Let me ask Pete. Pete.
Wow.
Listen, that's the only person that can really vet you at the gym that's on the show right now. Jay is not here. So I can't, you know what I'm saying?
Jackie is here. Jackie is watching. Jackie is watching on the show. She's at the gym.
Yeah, she is. I see Jackie at the gym actually on occasion. Let me ask you this though. Do you though? Do you have that fit? Like, oh, yep.
Never. Not yet. Let me say it that way.
I got you.
Not yet, because I wasn't even hunting. And I don't know if I want to do that though, because that's my sacred space, man. I don't know if that will taint. And the gym I'm at now only got 2 locations, so it's not like I could go. I might be shooting myself in the foot messing around. I don't need no stalkers, bro.
Yeah, I feel that. So for me, I don't have outfits for women, but like on shoulder day.
Okay, let's talk about Mike. Because Mike will try to play modest. Mike, let me tell you about this sexy pair of lingerie shoes this nigga wears to the gym. They got the toes built in, and why the shoes got a pedicure on them? I don't understand why you want to wear those shoes to the gym.
You are
with the built-in pedicure with the super sport strap on top. I think the shoe even got veins in the foot. I don't know, but when I saw those shoes, bro, I said, "What are you wearing?" That's lingerie sportswear. That's lingerie sports leisure, I think, is the actual category. Tell the people, do you have them on right now? Do you wear them when you want to feel sexy? Is that? This nigga wears them to bed. Jay, tell us if this nigga wears these shoes to bed. Oh, shoot. Hold on.
No.
What happened? Jackie said you got on the Zaddy 2025s. Oh, God. Go ahead, tell the people about your gym attire, Mike.
They're literally just waterproof shoes with the toes. That's it.
Why you need waterproof shoes in the gym?
Because number one, it's like wearing hot.
Because it's wet. What's wet in the gym that you got, huh?
Maybe somebody's girl. I don't know. I just go to work out. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Mike, on a scale of 1 to 10, where's your energy at now? I feel like you just shot up from a 5.
9.5. Let's start the show.
Yeah. So tell us about this infamous shoulder day, bro. When this nigga wears the string bikini tank top, huh? Tell us about it, man.
It's nothing.
Huh?
It's nothing.
You sure?
Yep.
I feel like it was like a loose leotard. You just had like, it was 2 strings. Was your nipples out on shoulder day, actually, the last time? Because
sometimes you get a little nipple slip on shoulder day.
You too big for a nip slip, my man. You little. That's scary. That's scary, nigga. That's scary. It's like a horse or like what are them cows with their udders come out and they stand up on 2 legs. Shit. I think we lost like 12 viewers just now. Mike, why on shoulder day do you choose to wear these tank tops?
Because usually we're in the mirror, and so I can see the pump, I can see the definition, I can see the grain. You know what I mean? So it's literally just for me.
For sure. Yeah, you want to see if it's working.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. If anybody works with me knows, I get up in the morning, I put on the same thing every day. I got like the same shorts, 8 different pair, same shirt, 10 different pair.
That's the one with the 2 inseam in the cup. That's the ones with the 2 inseam in the cup. With the front pockets.
The built-in fanny pack.
man. All right.
Man, but I don't put a lot of energy and effort into what I'm putting on for the gym. It's probably just my socks at most. Just I got to have the socks.
That's at least 10 minutes of scrunching. I don't know if you guys are aware, back in the early 90s, when we used to wear shorts, this is guys and girls, when you used to put on at least like 3, maybe 4 pair of scrunchy socks and then scrunch them up. Donnie still does that to this day.
Listen,
Donnie still does that and wears it to the gym. Like a 1990s stud.
Stud before it had another meaning.
Right.
Hey, you know what inspired me?
What?
I watched White Men Can't Jump.
Yep.
Yeah. And you wear the tank tops from that movie. Actually, if we go, you got that Venice Beach.
Not on.
Oh my goodness! Wow, Pete did say it in the baby hair. Between the socks and the baby hair, that's the longest it's gonna take me to get ready. If them two ain't right, I'm not going to the gym.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. But back on the topic that I was really trying to jump on here. So I was talking to one of my friends. I said, all right, I've been talking about getting back into dating. Me and Mike done had conversations about my picker. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a good headspace. I was talking to one of my friends, the one who actually hooked me up with my ex, because she hit the nail on the head. She definitely what I was looking for, even though it didn't work out. And we were talking about patterns and who you tend to choose. She said maybe you need to stick with Asians and Indians, or maybe you need to try Asians and Indians now. Beside the point, looking at that, go to a very diverse gym. It's a pretty penny for membership, which means that people there are about that life. They ain't just stragglers in off the street. Would you say, how I feel about the gym? Yeah. Is the gym a good place to even entertain prospects?
Oh, that's so for me, knowing you, I think it would be a yes and a no, simply because I know when we get in the gym, we like to hyper focus. I mean, we shoot the shit and we kind of, joke around, but when we get in there, it's like we clocked in. So on that aspect, I would say no, but it's so many, if you're at the gym, that means I already know we're in the same type of, headspace as far as getting in shape, being healthy. So now we already got something like conversation starters. We already got some similarities as far as that goes. So that's where the guest will come in.
And that's especially because working out and fitness is such a high level value for me.
Yes.
Especially, I don't mind, so I've introduced, people I've been dating to the gym, brought them with me or whatnot. But if you already go on your own, that's crazy dope. But that's good though, because it was this one girl in the gym. I see her all the time. She sees me.
That's the white girl?
No, Mike. It's a lot of people in the gym. Jeez. Right. So something happened. I helped her once or twice, never exchanged. And it was just like, oh, here you go. And so the other day I was stretching in this area and she came and stretched right next to me. I'm like, yo, am I in your way? Like, you about to work out here? I'm just stretching. She's like, no, it's all good. I just do this over here because it's exercise. I'm like, yo, I've been practicing exercise. Had a cool little conversation, cool little exchange. Kind of like what you just said. It was like, she was saying like, I see you in here all the time. You look so serious. But I have seen you sometimes smile. She's like, oh, he got a nice smile, but he always looks so serious because I be in that headspace. And so we kind of had a little bit of a conversation about, she's like, I'm the same way. I'm in here really trying to, be about it. She said, but I know I'm a talker and I like to yap. And she was like, and so I mess around in here and, meet people who like to talk and whatnot. Before you know it, we go on coffee dates and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. And so she was like, yeah. So that's what made me think like, I don't want to get caught up in the mix of, I already know where you brace yourself, ladies and gentlemen.
We still got work to do. She shot her shot twice.
I don't think that's what it was.
You missed it. One, she complimented you on your smile, and then two, she said, I talk so much and we'll end up going out for a coffee.
She didn't say that. She said the people that she talks to, they usually end up going out on coffee dates.
Talking to you, right?
Listen. So here it is. Here it is, Mike. The gym's not open for people to shoot their shot. I'm opening the gym February 15th.
Okay. I'm not even mad at. That's such a solid plan. That's such a solid plan.
Because I feel if I get into the dating pool right now, bro, it's too much pressure. Hey, Valentine's right around the corner, bro. You got it's a lot. They put this is like the fast track. Like semester starts February 15th. Don't you jump in there right now because you got finals all February.
Right, immediately. Yeah, you start class, you got finals in 2 weeks. What?
Oh,
don't do it. Don't do it.
But my point for bringing that up was that it makes me think like I know that dating requires intention and capacity, and I know that the women I tend to choose in the past have really, wanted for my attention, and I love giving it to them and whatnot. And so I just imagine like what kind of boundaries would need to be set if I were to, entertain things inside of the gym, because that's 2.5 hours that I need. But then it's also an opportune 2.5 hours. But it's like, keep that separate, you know what I'm saying? Or does that look offensive? Like, I don't know. I guess if somebody is also serious about their fitness, they probably be on the same wavelength type. Like, yeah, we'll talk after.
I feel like it's bad enough. We got one woman that got to work out with us every so often. I don't know if we want to add two.
Wow, it's about to just be me and Jay after that comment.
Right. I almost recover from these injuries in a second.
I almost asked you if she was coming today, but I figured she's scared of me after what we did to her last time.
2 weeks.
Let me tell you about snitches get stitches. Why she in the gym running to Pravina and she's snitching, telling Pravina about what we did to her legs. Like, she ain't gonna help you. What is going on? She's trying to get help. She ain't gonna help you.
And nobody safe. Nobody is safe.
Because Pravina next.
Yep.
I worked out with her once. She wanted to join me for leg day after one of the little dance classes, and she hung.
Like a real leg day, like.
I did, but I modified for her because legs look strong, but I don't know. And plus, she had the dance class, so she did really well. But next time, no breaks at all, none.
That new stuff we doing.
So even today, like I know certain things you can't do, but when I posted videos of my workouts from last year, I saw some things that I had done that I stopped doing that really gave me that girth, and I'm like, y'all, I gotta bring those back into my equation. So I did those today, and I already saw a difference. So I'm like, yeah, huh?
You use a Sticky Smith?
Almost, because I totally.
Listen, that's the one you want to use if you're trying to get strong.
Like on accident.
On accident, for sure. But
so I want to. What we got in the chat? Because I want to stay on the same conversation. The disrespect. Listen, it's all about your growth and development. Don't be mad at it.
That's the fact.
Only 24 hours in a day, my man. Do the gym together as an activity. I've done that in the past. I in my mind, I'm thinking, Mike, and she said it, Niall said it. I'm thinking, I want to save that for a relationship. I'm not sure if I want to do that in a dating environment.
Because for us, the gym is too sacred. That's like one of those things everybody don't have. You know how many people, and I'm sure you can co-sign this. How many people have asked to come and work out? Hey, I want to come work out. Nah, I can't. That's guys and females. I can't just work out with any whole body because the gym is sacred. That's like therapy. I'm not gonna invite just any old body to sit in on one of my sessions.
Yeah. Well, thinking about this whole idea of dating other fitness people in the gym, when it comes to being in a relationship, I'm really interested in your perspective on this one, bro. So let me know what you think.
There should never be a grown man teaching your wife how to work out. You see mine? She in the gym with me. There'll never be a grown man teaching my wife how to squat. You should.
Ladies, we are not taking this fucking logic into 2025, bro. We're not doing this shit. And I don't know the gentleman who made this motherfucking video. I'm not talking to you directly, sir. I'm using your video simply as an example, okay? However, if somebody can crack your woman, My boy, once again, I'm not talking to the gentleman. I'm talking to in general. It ain't got shit to do with it being a personal trainer or her personal trainer looking good or him standing behind her when she's doing squats. Your wife was ready to get cracked if she gets cracked.
Where are we at on our significant other having a trainer of the opposite sex?
So I used to do.
Actually, pause. No,
Yeah.
Eric taught me something. Where's our stance on your significant trainer or your significant other having all of them? Because I want to get the last thought out first.
Yep.
Having a trainer that they're attracted to.
So I used to do before Janae, with Janae. I did some personal training, and most, if not all, were females. I can see why the first gentleman would say that, because I feel like male personal trainers, especially if their looks are trending at that time, I can see why that can be a little bit of if you're not secure in your relationship and secure in yourself. I can see why that may be an issue for some guys. For me personally, I've actually hit up some of the people I know to be Janae's trainer because our schedules are different. So I go to work out sometimes and she can't go, and I know she wanted to get in the gym. Hey, my boy, can you what the price is, yada yada yada. And they're not bad looking guys. Even you, I wouldn't mind Janae going to the gym with you all the time, or any male.
You wouldn't mind. You would love if she went to the gym with me.
I would. But my point is though, like if the dude is about his business and he really is a legit trainer and he knows what he's doing, hey, go, please, by all means. I think that first statement was a statement, like I said, out of not having the confidence in his relationship or in his woman or in himself. Like for me, if Janae go to the gym, and me and Janae have this conversation often, she's not blind. It's niggas out there that's way more attractive than me, got way much more going on than me. I'm not oblivious to that fact. But I also know, no man on this earth take my woman from me. Like nobody. No matter what you got, how you look, it's not possible. That's my mind state. So I feel like going into it like that.
You and Jay are locked in, man. I see it in y'all eyes when y'all be looking at each other, bro. I'm not even sure if y'all actually even see other people. Y'all just see like a figure, a shadow. Funny. It's like, yeah, sound like a man, sound like a woman, but
right. I don't know. Can't tell you what they look like.
I don't know what your best feature is. Hey, that's solid though. So I'm wondering, because I was definitely a personal trainer for years, and it's so interesting, bro, being a personal trainer in the past and being a coach now and hearing about how a lot of men say that women struggle to submit. But looking at when I was a personal trainer and even I was a life coach and how my conversations go with their women, and I'm like, it's in them and it's on them, and they do it in these environments. What's the struggle where y'all at? Right. You know what I'm saying? So I think that even more so than, your woman getting cracked or smashed by the personal trainer, I think that it's tough for a man to see a woman doing for another man what she won't do for him. And so the only thing I can relate it to was back in one of my previous relationships, when, we would go to church together a lot like that. And I would, give her bits of wisdom and insight, and she would listen to me. But as soon as an online preacher said it, or one of the deacons or brother of the church said it, then she would listen. And I remember it used to hurt my ego, it used to bruise my ego. We ain't married, nothing. We just, in a relationship, but it just made me think like, that's what I kind of related it to. Like, man, I wonder if there's something there as it pertains to our ego, just seeing another man order a woman around or give her instructions, and she does it.
That's interesting. I feel like cats that, like the guy that did the video, the first guy, I feel like guys like that don't want their woman to have a male masseuse when they go to the spa, or don't want their woman to have a male gynecologist Like, it's just certain things that if this is the stuff you worried about, you might be in for a rude awakening, because there's guys out in the world. I don't know if you know this, my brother, but there's other men outside besides you that she sees. And sometimes when guys act like that, you could be pushing her into that other guy.
Yeah, because of the insecurity or the jealousy
Exactly.
or the possessiveness that may come up. But then again, some people like that. You know what I'm saying to you? And so when I'm thinking about previous relationships, would I have an issue? I don't have issue with a lot of things. You know, if you have a masseuse you're attracted to, if you got a trainer you're attracted to, none of that stuff ever bothered me. I kind of feel a little bit about what he said at the end of the video, like, your person is not your property.
That's good.
So whatever they want to do, why would you want to stop them and keep them knowing that that's what they really want to do? What kind of dynamic is that now created? What kind of relationship do you have when you know the only reason they ain't doing it is because you won't let them? It's interesting.
It is interesting. I got a kind of a twist on this same question. Now, hypothetical, of course, as most of our stuff is. But let's say the same trainer is known to crack his clients. Now, are you still as okay, or is it more of a conversation like, hey, I'm not worried about you, but you already know how this guy is. If he get kind of handsy with you, or he getting too flirtatious.
If he get kind of handsy. Listen, she got to tell me he looked at her wrong. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got the issue. If she starts to feel uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying to you, then me and him had to have a fist to cuff. It's always going to be about, huh?
You gonna fight him?
Sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, you know where I'm going first. I'm going to the trunk, so you better.
Mike, we got a lot we got to do, bro. We just finished having a legacy lunch.
Yep, you're right.
Told you, I'm not explaining the denim. Dad couldn't regulate his emotions, and so here I am. Like, I don't no. Let alone Jay gonna be in jail with you. It's gonna just be me and Denim. Golly, I just played the whole story out in my head. I don't like it. Gee whiz. No, it's all good, man. Sasha said, if your relationship is solid with respect and trust, you have nothing to worry about. If it's solid. But I think where do solid relationships come from? I think in my brain initially they come from people who are honest with each other, honest with themselves, and have connected with someone that wants to connect with them. When you're in this idea of like chasing someone and trying to get their attention, and they're out of your league, or they're really not into you, and you're trying to convince them, I feel like that, changes is not a solid foundation, or a solid relationship is really built on maybe something more transactional, or maybe something that looks good in society's eyes. And so then that person could be actually an opportunist looking for the next upgrade.
Yep, I agree.
So, I mean, you have to, if that's the case, you got to ask yourself, like, am I really in a solid relationship? Because I think when you are, it does impact your confidence in the relationship, in that person, and in yourself.
That's good. I agree with that. Yeah.
All right, let's see. No big deal at all. If you guys are secure and extremely in reciprocal love, it's no big deal. That can be tough though, because as wonderful as reciprocal love feels, I wonder how sustainable that is through all the seasons of life. You know what I'm saying to you? You know what? Speaking of, I was having a conversation with one of my female friends about this, and we were talking about, she was like, so who you marry, right? There are going to be signs of how your wife will be in marriage based on how she is as a friend, how she is a woman as your friend, because she said before she's your wife, she's that woman. Yeah. Before she held that title and that responsibility, she was a woman. So there's a lot you can tell about who a person is just when they're your friend before you guys get into a shared responsibility of a relationship. And she was like, if you struggle in the friendship with her during her cycle, during certain parts of her cycle, that doesn't go away because you guys said you love each other and you're devoting your life to one another.
It's not.
And I'm not saying the cycles are bad and women turn into these creatures, but they shift in a certain way that might be only appealing to a certain kind of man. And what if you're not that man? Well, you'll see that in the friendship phase. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, oh, wow, this is, as your friend, this is already, you know what I'm saying, an issue. Yep. And so she said, pay attention to that. You know what I'm saying? Because, of course, times change, and women, I have a few female friends who, are real like spiritual. And they're like, yo, no, I rebuke, some of those mood swings and all that kind of stuff. And and I'm at the age now where, you know, some of the women that I might be interested in are about to go through menopause. You know what I'm saying to you? So that's a whole different set of a hormone cycle. So, you know, it's not just always those big love thing. Remember we talked about last episode. Sometimes it's the simple stuff. Like, you know, what temperature do you need the house on when you sleep? What time do you go to bed? Like, you know, how are you during your cycle? Like, you know, do I have to rent a room, you know, once a month?
Sheesh. Those are all valid and important questions though. And I feel like for the most part, those are the kind of questions, conversations that Jay and I have had. Because I feel like some people think that stuff is trivial until you find yourself in a situation and you get irritated at something small that maybe you didn't even realize could be a factor. Especially when you're talking about if you guys are starting to live together, or if you're hanging out over there more often, or if you at her place a lot or at his place a lot, and you starting to see certain habits, and you're like, is this what I'm gonna have to deal with forever? You know, that could be a game changer if you don't have the conversation when you see it, or even before you see it, honestly.
And it's interesting, right? Because it's not to say that someone needs to change it. It's to say that it's so. One of my friends hit me up and told me I need to watch this movie called Mr. Malcolm's List, right? And it's like a Bridgerton movie about this guy who inherited a lot of property and a fortune from his aunt, and now he's in society searching for a wife, but he has a list of qualifications, right? And so I'm not going to tell the whole movie, but his friend, the woman he's interested in, her friend, shows up on the scene, and he likes this other girl who I did not like the whole movie. I'm like, yo, the way she moves, I'm like, bruh. He said to her that he looks forward to keeping her devious plots like in check. He said it would be an absolute honor to be that person in her life, not like check her like he said in a very romantic way, to where it's like you're mischievous and you be up to stuff like, and I'm gonna be the one, you know what I'm saying, to always remind you, like, we don't have to go that route. While that would be an irritant for other men, somebody may not feel like you too much. They may love when you get spicy like that. Or they may love when you get, you know, possessive like that, like we said. And so I always want to just put that disclaimer out there. It's not a call to action to change anything, but it is to help you identify, like, when you're being your authentic self, who really loves that, who wants that. Yeah, for some people it does seem like a whole lot of work.
Yeah, but like you said, some people it's not.
It's absolute privilege. Like, yes.
Yeesh.
Yeah. Not me.
Listen.
But it might be some things about Jay and some things about you that somebody else might be like, way too independent for me, bro. I can't do that. Like, I need somebody who, and to each his own. You know what I'm saying to you?
To each his own. Because again, like we said on the show before, we always see those couples where it's like, how is somebody with her, or how is somebody with him? Like,
and happy.
Maybe it's a coworker that nobody can stand in the office, but they happily married, and they walk in with their spouse, and they just all in love, and it's like, how in the heck can they stand each other? You know what I mean?
And happy. Happy, bro. I remember one of my friends asked me, she was like, how is it in relationship with you? Because you be in your own world, you kind of do your own thing, and you kind of like, you're like, you know, you're very sure of yourself, like your therapist said. So funny. And so they're like, how is, and I kind of talked about it, but I recognize that the way that I am is a turnoff and an irritant to some people. And then the other people, it's like, yes, you pushed that by accident.
Yeah.
It's not everybody's cup of tea. And I think that I wanted to be, I told y'all about the prayer I prayed when I was in junior high. Like, God, make every woman like me. Right? You know what I'm saying? Only to come to the place where I'm just happy that I'm not everybody's cup of tea, because how often would you have to change? You know what I'm saying? And one of my female friends put me on the game. She was like, a lot of times we just flirt with the guy just to get him to like us, to see if we could get him. And then we kind of just, okay, now I'm bored. After he done made all the adjustments and the changes and throwing himself out there, you know what I'm saying? So I know that happens as well. And it's not just manipulative, evil women. Sometimes this is just innocent people who, you know, have some insecurities they might be working through. So, you know, be you, love you, so that you can recognize when someone loves you for being you.
That's good.
Yeah.
And it sounds like something like an easy formula to follow, but I feel like some people feel like it's not that easy to be themselves, whether it be because of their past, whether it be because of their upbringing, whether it be because, you know, whatever the case may be, the demons that they got locked in their closet, like everybody, it's not easy for everybody to just be themselves, which is why we have so many representatives that are put out there in that first, like that dating phase. Like people are putting out, oh yeah, I got this going on for myself and I got this and got that, but you know, a month down the line, you start to realize, I don't even know who this person is. Where's the person that I met on day one?
What do you mean it's not easy to be yourself?
No, I'm not talking about me.
No, I'm saying yourself.
At one point, it wasn't easy to be me because I didn't like me. So I didn't want to be me. I wanted to be somebody that I felt other people like. I felt like, okay, you like a guy with charisma, babe. That was the word that I was looking for the other night.
Nigga said the other night. Was it haunting
literally,
you, bro?
Nigga, I was wrecking my brain trying to find a word because I kept saying flirting, but it wasn't flirting. It was charisma. So some people, I felt like people liked a guy that was charismatic. So, you know, okay, let me be that guy. People
you about to break down every facet of the word now, huh? Charismatic, charisma, courage. What else you got, Mike? What? Character, huh? Chivalry. What else comes to mind?
These are all the C words, huh? Wow. Foolish comes to mind. But no,
childish.
There it goes. Yeah. I feel like people just tend to try to be what they think other people are attracted to, or they think other people want. You know what I mean? As opposed to just being themselves.
Or that person.
Yeah. Or that
sometimes
person.
you're trying to appeal to that person, and that's a high. So I'm about to say that's a high stakes game, because if it works, was it within the scope of behavior that you can sustain, or were you really stretched to try to be that type of person? You know, it's a difference between you trying to change who you are to appeal to somebody versus you just tapping into a different side of you.
That's good, because that's a big difference.
Yeah,
that's like night and day almost. Like, I'm not trying to change like who I am, but you brought this certain side of me out, and I'm willing to explore that side. Yeah,
very different.
Yeah,
I'm not pretending. One is pretending. One is just stretching.
Yep.
So check this out right here. This is a good question from Sasha. She said, could you date yourself, or do they have to be the opposite of you? Is Jay the opposite of you, or is you guys more alike?
When we first started out, I feel like we were opposites, but we spent so much time together. I feel like we're the same fucking person.
Y'all very much act alike.
It's crazy. Same sense of humor, except for The Office. She don't like The Office, and that's my favorite show.
We'll change that.
We almost pushed the wedding back behind that, but you know.
You want to hear a funny story? Yes, she probably watching too. So one of my exes watched The Office with me all the time, laughed and everything. Only when we got in premarital counseling, told them that she didn't like the show. I said, I've been deceived. I've been had. She gonna text me and be like, "That is not how it happened." She said, "I didn't like it. I didn't like it at first."
Heartbreak.
Man, not over the favorite show.
Come on.
Oh man,
that's why it's so important not to try to force the things you like on your partner. Just do what you like to do. If they fall in line with that, great. If they don't, it's still okay.
Yeah,
you're not gonna like all the same things that each other like.
There's a certain kind of love that people get into that makes them scared to lose, right? And I don't think
lose what
anything, right? And so I think that there's a love that you can walk in that doesn't have a fear of losing. There's a love that you can walk in that is just grateful to experience, right? What it is. But sometimes I've seen it and they're calling it love, and it's filled with so much anxiety and worry and paranoia. and that I can't lose this, and that effort and the capacity they reserve to not lose it keeps them from enjoying it.
Damn.
Which ultimately causes it to fall apart.
That's crazy, because that's that's a real thing. Me and Janae were watching this show, The Ultimatum, last night, and it was a lady on there, and that was her. Like, I'm so scared to lose. I'm constantly. Is everything okay? Are you mad at me? Did I do something wrong? Are you okay? Are you mad at me? Did I? No, like, especially for men, that could be like some women think that, okay, I just want to make sure that you're good all the time, and they think that, okay, who wouldn't want something like that? But some men find that as like a little bit over the top. Like, I just told you 10 minutes ago we were good. Like, relax.
I think that we, as men, I'm gonna speak in general. I think that we like it, but we don't want that to be the only thing on the plate.
Yes. Not the only thing. I need some sides. I need dessert. You know.
Yeah, appetizers. You know.
Yeah.
But that's if that's the always state, that might be a little rough for some men.
Yeah, like what are you afraid is going to happen? What do you think you're going to lose? Right.
That's what I said. Yeah. All right. So check this out. Nio said, I'm not proud of it, but I have looked at guys to see if they are looking for that ego boost. Nothing more. Poor guy. I think I'm giving him that eye contact, and all I'm doing is looking for that ego boost, not something to be proud of, right? Yeah, I understand. I've been there.
Do we do that in the gym?
I don't think so, bro. I mean, speak for yourself. Let me know. I think we
not when we turn the camera on for the footage. You don't get an extra 2 in.
Oh, I mean, but who was that for though?
Who was it for?
For me, because I know
the video, right?
Well, see, no, because remember when we first started recording in the gym, I didn't know you were posting those videos.
Oh, that's true.
I thought that was just like footage for us to say, nigga, look at you slacking. I thought that was like just proof. So when I call you out on some stuff, you send me a video like, is this what we doing today? Like, I thought that was just accountability videos. And then you start making, you know what I'm saying? So even now, I don't care, because I don't even think nobody can see it except for who's already your friend or my friend. I don't think we put I did put the location of the gym like twice on there just to give them a shout out. Why your eyes get big, bro? It's not the plan.
We don't do locations over here, homie.
We don't do locations, especially not ones I frequent, huh?
Right, I'm at where I'm at.
I'm gonna be where I be. All right. All right, cool. So let's follow that video up. What time is it? 8:55? Yeah, I want to do another one that's gonna be a little bit of fun, and then we gonna actually I got 2 that are gonna be fun. All right. Oh, I got 3. Anyway, let's do this one first.
All right.
What's one thing someone could do on a first date that would make you immediately get up and leave?
Mouth sounds. Holy shit, I cannot handle. And I'm not talking beatboxing.
No,
I'm talking somebody with no home training, and they actually defend it. Like, it tastes better when you eat it like this. No, it doesn't. You don't need more oxygen to taste it. Every bite sound like chowder. Fresh chowder. It's ridiculous. That was a carrot. I can't do it. If you chew like a horse or animal, hey man, check please.
I hate when people order heavy garlic. What she's telling me is that we ain't smashing.
You ain't making out.
Well, she's not aware of her repercussions.
Yeah, she don't know. She don't know that.
But like, and the vegetable? Like,
yeah,
asparagus. I'm like, yeah.
This is about to smell strange.
Damn.
And I don't need that scent. On a first date, you eat something very plain. You know what I'm saying?
Roasted chicken.
Plain roasted chicken.
Yeah.
Roasted chicken.
You can have
No
some
seasoning.
spices.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
don't need to go with something that's gonna go through your body in the next 20 minutes, and now you don't smell the same.
Yeah.
What do? She orders garlic fries, and on top of that, she asks for extra garlic aioli sauce.
I get up and I go talk to the chef in the back. And I go, $50. You don't put no garlic on this shit right now. Cash.
Like, it's so bland.
I know, baby. I know.
Even the aioli is more like a mayonnaise.
I got garlic for you later. I'll put a little bit on the tip for you if you like it.
That just happened on this first date.
Your first dates don't go like this?
You're strange, bro.
Yeah.
I thought you was a
Speed up.
POC, though.
2024. My garlic fries are covered in pineapple chunks.
It's like, yeah, you're damn right, baby.
Yeah, get tasty.
close talker. I don't like when someone's a close talker, especially if you're one of those like couples booths and they keep inching closer to you.
You don't like it when a woman is getting closer to you on a date?
No.
Like your orthodontist?
Like right here in my face.
What is she saying?
Just weird things about Bubbles.
Whoa, the monkey?
The monkey.
If y'all could have seen Mike's face behind the scenes, good God,
that was good. That was good. It got real weird.
Yeah, it did. But that sounded like one of our conversations. So, Mike, what's your first date ick?
Awkward silence.
Really? You don't like awkward silence?
Not on the first date.
Oh, man.
And I feel like I'm a pretty good conversationalist, but like at some point it's gonna run out, and I want whoever I'm on a date with to be able to pick up the conversation where I left off. So, golly, it's so funny because I can see it. Don't touch me,
Pookie.
At least not after the first drink. Anyway,
it'd be the ones who dress like they want to be touched, just that don't want. I'm sorry, Pookie. I'm sorry. Everything else said touch me. I'm sorry, Pookie. All right.
Right. No, so yeah, for me, I feel like it's that awkward silence or somebody that just has nothing to say of interest. Like, okay, we can go. We really just don't have to do this anymore. What's yours?
Man. Well, that's tough. Venting.
Oh, that's so funny. I can't stand you, boy. Golly.
It landed late, but it landed strong.
Yeah, you saw what it did. Yeah.
Venting.
Talk about it as much as you want to.
I think for as much as you want to. Why don't you vent? I'm just not. I'm not sure. I am sure. I'm sure that on a first date with me, venting is not the appropriate dialogue to bring.
You're talking about venting about work, venting about issues, venting about ex-boyfriend.
So let's go ahead and pull up, make sure that we're all on the same page.
Why you look that up? My other one is talking about your ex on our first date.
Really?
Like, if that's all you want to talk about, then you should probably go talk to him. He's probably better fit to talk about himself with himself. I can't talk about the nigga. I don't know. And conversation usually is something where we can both contribute.
Okay, I like that. So it's weird though, because like you said, awkward silence. I like that. I think that even on first day, I feel like it's a good telltale sign. Even talking about I am a creep. I know it. And talking about your ex, I feel like that's good data. Like, okay, tell me more. That's gonna tell me a lot. Like, that's definitely gonna let me know if I need to make another.
So she lying.
How she lies though is important.
Ooh.
I'm not gonna fault people for lying if I lie. So how you lie is more important to me than if you lie, because what are you trying to protect and what are you trying to preserve? And within the lie, I can see what your values are. Again, the first date is not for me to judge. I'm just trying to collect data. I just have a very interesting scientific way.
So what's your
So venting. So the definition of venting that I was talking about, that it says here, if you vent your feelings, you let out a strong and sometimes angry emotion and just say what you think. You might vent your rage when your brother once again gets out of doing the chores. You may also vent something. So it's that, for me, the venting I'm talking about is the unregulated emotions that have to deal with like frustration and anger or about something. On a first date, I think it does tell me about you, so I am getting to know you.
Yeah.
But I would hate for that to overshadow, because it's such a strong emotion, the other things you may have told me about yourself. And like, psychology says what people remember is usually what you started with and what you ended with. The stuff in the middle kind of can get, so I feel like in those conversations, the strongest emotion is going to be the one that grabs the memory the most. Yeah. And so I just think like, really good conversation is good for me. I'm gonna think of another one. I'm trying to see if anybody else got any more in the chat over here.
I was a bunch of them.
Niall says a Satan worshiper, like actually worshiping Satan on the first date. That's definitely more of a,
let me put on my Ouija board in 1 second.
More of a second date thing. More of a second, third date. Actually, Pookie, that's my thought. I don't like when his arms touch me. I need space. Why are you on a date with this man if you don't want to get if grazing you?
It was an accident. He said,
it sounds like you. I don't really want to be here. I was doing you a favor, and now our feet.
Hold on for you.
Our feet touched underneath the table, and for me, that's like a no. Okay, Sasha said talking about their ex. Oh, what McJella said? Should I be upfront that when I'm pregnant, I moan? I thought should I moan? I moan as I eat when I go on the first date. That's great information.
It is.
First, it lets me know that you can have kids, and that's definitely on my list. So, great information. Keep that going. So people don't like this talking about the ex thing, talking about money issues. Yeah, because it sounds like you about to ask me for money at the end of the date.
Yeah, that's a good one. And we on a date. So what you're saying is,
okay, the best one so far. Sasha said talking too much and not letting the other person speak. I think that was included in my venting thing because that does take up a lot of space.
That's good. And it makes that person seem a little self-centered because you don't want to hear what I gotta say at all. You don't care about nothing having to do with me. How you gonna collect your data if all you doing is talking?
And that might be their service. Like, I just want to give you all the information you can need about me. I already know that I love you.
I can see that.
I'm already into you. So here's what you need to know about me. Like, there's like some people that walk into it, like, I guess we're speaking from experience at this point. Like, you can do no wrong. I am into you. Here's what I want you to know about me. You know what I'm saying? That, and people say, well, you got that pick me attitude or choose me. Sometimes when you know what you want, you definitely want that thing to choose you. And you're going to say whatever you got to say, because if people judge you, but you get chosen, they going to be upset, not you. Do whatever you need to do to get in your position that you want to be in. Dang, Jesus. I feel like,
what was that one?
I feel like Pookie been kidnapped. She said, when I'm ready to go, but they keep trying to extend the conversation and it's pointless. Pookie, who are you dating?
Right. Are you
why are you touching me and why won't you let me go? That's all I'm hearing.
That sounds like a damn hostage situation. Leave. What?
Is this a date? Don't.
Turn your location on. Shit.
Lord. Okay, Pookie. I'm chaperoning your next date. That's
so. Here's and we can move forward after this. But here's my other one. People that are sore losers, like, because for me, I play to win. Woman, kid, old person, I'm gonna try to beat you bad.
So you taking the first date to Dave and Buster's, and it's like,
right.
You might not even like me after this.
Right. But if you can't handle that level of like competition, fun, banter type competition, then you.
Now it makes sense why we were doing legs that Jay had the crazy eyes. She built different.
She was not going to give up.
When I tell y'all, when me, Mike, and Jay did legs, she was way more intense than me and Mike. Me and Mike was pushing, but Jay was in a whole nother atmosphere. Like me and Mike talking in between sets, I'm trying to ask Jay a question. Every time she had to either take her earbud out or turn her phone down. Like she is in her zone. And we had to learn sign language to talk to her because she was in it. Her eyes was nuck if you buck.
Right.
I wish we would have got that on camera.
Yeah,
so check this out, man. Jackie said that some women be on dates not even attracted to the man, and so that would make first date icks.
A lot lately. Like I don't I don't
I tell you,
that. Like, are y'all just trying to get a meal or?
I'll tell you what it is right now. Where is it at? I saw it earlier. Doot. Most women are single because they want to get paid for being in a relationship.
Oh my God.
So as much as I think it's frowned upon for things to be transactional, I think that people are saying, oh shoot, transactional might be in my best interest. I need transactions. I need money. I don't need love. I don't need protection. I don't need I need the provision part, but I just need the money. I want a nice meal. I want a new outfit. I want my hair and feet done. Like,
well, they say that marriage is a business transaction as well. So I mean,
not mine.
Yeah, right. And neither is my relationship. Like, I don't know. I feel like if I felt like Janae was in it for the money or money driven in the relationship, I feel like she wouldn't get half the stuff that I'm willing and have done and got and provided for her. Because now I feel like this all you want, then we willing this all the way in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She gets what she gets and she has what I give her because I know she's in it just for me. If I didn't have it, she'd still be here.
It's a
and the fact
situation.
That I know that, you can have it all. Take my check. Here you go.
Old school. Just bring the check home. Yeah.
Listen.
So check this out. So Jackie also, she followed up, said, I honestly don't get it. I couldn't waste my time with a man I didn't find attractive. For me, this goes back to the whole idea of people working jobs that they're not passionate about. Once you get your mind and soul used to being in places you really don't want to be in, but they pay you, you'll be surprised where that same behavior shows up.
That's crazy.
I show up 8 hours a day to a job I don't even like. Of course I could do a date with somebody I'm not attracted to if it's going to end up with me getting money.
What other type of women in business benefit from doing services for money?
Why'd you struggle to get the whole?
I was trying to be polite.
Why did the prostitutes? Golly. It's interesting. So with all that being said, it kind of goes back to a conversation you and I were having a few weeks ago about, nobody wants to feel like you dating them as a favor or you're settling for them. And so again, this goes back to the reminder I think you guys have given me plenty of times. Choose somebody that actually likes you, Donovan. Doesn't like what you have going for yourself and all that kind of stuff, because that's probably what they want. Or there was this research they were talking about people, I forgot the term of it, somebody else might know it in the chat, but they're talking about people choosing someone because they feel like they can elevate their social status. I find this person attractive because they have so many followers, or saying they have this kind of online presence, and if I'm with them, then that impacts my business and stuff like that. And so that's a real thing that people are doing. And the other one they said is people have these micro relationships, I think is what they call it, where you and this person have a moment of chemistry that reminds them of a scene of a movie. Caught eyes on the subway, ran into each other in a coffee shop, picked up his newspaper, handed it to him, her hair brushed by, you smelt her perfume. People are trying to live out a moment from a movie, and they build like a connection with somebody based on that, knowing that it's only a temporary certain thing. And so it's always good to identify, what are my motives here? And what am I going to allow here? And so for me, continuing to check myself, like, how do I verify if someone's truly into me? And the first thing that starts with is me not trying to present myself to be bigger or more important than I am.
That's good. I feel like that's why we see all of these celebrities and rappers and singers getting into these relationships with other celebrities, rappers, and singers, because it's like, at least I know, well, for the most part, at least I know if you're doing the same thing I'm doing, you can't just be in it for the money, because you're getting maybe more money than I am, or at least the same amount. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to finding a regular on the street, the girl next door type, because you don't really know what her motives could be. You know what I'm saying?
True. Are there any other first date icks that we should discuss, or that you would say, Donovan, watch out for as of February 15th?
I'm trying to think in 2025, have you had any surgeries to change your gender?
Oh God.
these are questions that you have to ask because these days it's crazy out there.
I thought you was talking about the type of woman I like. You was questioning things. Mike is mean. I'm not gonna even tell you what he said the other day. Mike is a mean person. I'm not even gonna say it because it's that incriminating. But Mike is a mean person. Mike is a mean person.
Mike is Mike. Come on.
Mike is Mike. Yeah, that's that goes back to our conversation about what are some very important first date questions. Yeah, and I think that sometimes people don't feel comfortable disclosing very personal information on the first date, but then it begs the question, then why are we here? Okay, well, some people are just here to have a good time, but if I'm looking for like looking towards marriage, then there's certain things that I'm going to want to know before I invest, because you know what, that's a good segue into our next video. So wait a minute, you know what, I thought about this.
I thought about it too, but
farting on the first date, would I get up and walk out? It depends on how it smells, because there's a lot of data to collect from the fragrance of a fart. It can tell you a lot about their diet and their stress levels.
That's in all honesty, that's true. So
yeah.
Should she hold it? She cramping. She can barely walk. Like, you wondering why she walking so slow. She got her butt cheeks clenched. Like, now you thinking like, oh, she's weird. What should she do? Should she? You just want to hold it? Excuse herself?
What would I? Okay, I'm not trying to have sex, you know what I'm saying, on the first day. I'm waiting until marriage. So if she just, you know, I gotta go to the restroom and just, you know, did her thing in there, I'll never know.
Okay.
I need to find a restroom. And if she did say, listen, I gotta let one rip, like, please walk away. Because there's certain
yourself.
There's certain cultures that they call it somebody tell me in the chat, is it called a fart walk? After they eat, they literally go for a 5-10 minute walk to fart, like after their meal. It's part of their exercise, but also to let the gases out, and depending on, you know, the kind of food I think it's called a fart walk.
That sounds like something Middle Eastern culture would do.
Listen, I have 2 friends, beautiful women, very beautiful women, who are very open about 3 actually, that are very open about the gas that they pass.
Listen,
and I said, I said, please don't send me another meme. They think it's the most hilarious. The videos they send, the memes they send, you're disgusting. You're disgusting. Especially the ones that go to the gym and they have the protein, and it's like, like what is wrong with you? Golly. But at the same time, it's like, it's so natural, and that makes me very comfortable with you because I've never smelt it. All right, so so speaking about the amount of energy and money you should invest into a first date. Hold on, you got anything on IG over there?
Let me check. I don't. I had some stuff earlier, but.
So you got Dulce Amor. What's up, lady? She said, repeat that again, Mike. You said something. What? I can't ask you what he said because you said repeat it, so you didn't hear it either. What was he talking about? And then what did Jackie say? So she said, so tell me you're a fart expert. I watch a lot of National Geographic, and they said, and Jackie, you'll understand it because you have a dog. When dogs poop, they turn around and smell it because the smell of it tells them about their internal health. And so people who study like the digestive system and stuff like that, the shape, the texture, the smell can often tell you what issues are happening in your body. Yep. It's real. And that's why they kick that dust over like, I ain't right. I ain't right. I ain't right at all. Kibbles and bits, nigga. All right. Golly. What did you eat last night that fell off the table? Okay.
All right.
She said, never mind. It was a while ago. Okay, so check this out.
Have you ever gotten your heart broken?
Yeah.
Was it your fault or was it theirs?
Of course it was theirs. Why would it be my fault? Will I knowingly break my own heart? No, it was theirs because it's just... So she's even like... The person in question is getting married like next month. And I'm still paying for the vacation that I took her on a year ago. because she wanted to go to Mexico. So I took her and I put it on a payment plan, 24 months. That's 2 years payment plan. So I'm still paying for it. I have another 12 months to pay. While she's about to go and marry somebody else.
Let's really tap into this.
Yeah.
Let's tap into this idea of people saying they got their heart broken. I feel like, and I really thought about this because I saw the little snippet in the gang for this video. Here's what I would say. If people know that getting into a relationship could potentially be a risk of you guys not ending the way that you want to end, then you can't ever say that you broke when you entered into this relationship, when we said, hey, let's be exclusive, and it ended for whatever reason, you can't say you signed up for this. Like, it's in the fine print. Because you didn't read the fine print that, hey, this may not end well. That's on you. You didn't you broke your own shit.
I remember you telling me that a few episodes ago. We were talking about this, and I think that where I ended up in the conversation is that things not ending the way that you wanted to end doesn't cause a broken heart. It's how well you handle not getting your way. And I think that is a facilitator. That's more of a facilitator of a broken heart, more so than maybe someone violating. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe that works in conjunction with someone violating an opportunity or a trust that you gave them. I understand what you're saying about the small print, but then there's also people who deliberately do things maliciously that contribute. But you're saying that was part of the risk that you knew you could be.
It is because you don't really know nobody when you enter in a relationship. Like you know the person, blah 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 blah. But you just for 100% gospel, you don't really know that this person is going to be faithful. They said they were. You believe they were. The actions have showed thus far that they would be, but you don't know. So you're entering into this stuff without any sort of guarantee that it's going to be the way you want it to be. So you're signing up for this.
So okay, so check this out. I'm gonna put this, Ali. Miss Austin. Hi, Miss Austin. I haven't talked to her in a while. Nobody goes into a relationship thinking they will end up with a broken heart. Do you think that people should go into a relationship considering the fact that they may end up with a broken heart? Or considering that things may not go the way they want it to go?
That one. I think that you should at least consider that, hey, this may not end, like I said, the way that I want it to end. Hell, that's why nobody expects to go out and get in a car accident. We all got fucking insurance. Why?
Well,
just saying,
so this goes back. We did it a year ago. I think you had the podcast. Like, what do you do when the relationship ends and you weren't ready for it or you didn't want it? And and I was like, what I had to come to understand. I think it's so innately programmed within us to be upset. And the more upset you are, the more you highlight. Like, if anybody was watching this kind of podcast after my last relationship didn't work out, you'll heard me say some things off the left side of my brain, out of anger, frustration and stuff. And that was me just highlighting certain things that didn't go the way that I wanted to, and allowing my ego to have full control of the microphone. Only to have to repent from that, apologize for that, and because I wanted to, and come to a place where I'm like, man, I'm just grateful that I had the opportunity, to experience the love. Yes, some other things happened, but the breaking of my heart, I think, is really dependent on which memories I highlight the most.
You choose to highlight.
I choose to highlight the most, because the same stuff I'm like, now my heart is in such a good place and I'm in such a place of gratitude. But it's a lot of self-accountability that contributes to heartbreak. That I think we need to have a serious conversation with ourselves about that. I love how you said that though. Like, nobody considers getting into a car accident, but they kind of do, because other people tell them, but like, I'm never going to get in a car accident. But it's like, if people didn't have to have insurance, they wouldn't get it. But it's by law, you have to have insurance. The same thing in relationships. People.
That's new.
Having
insurance is fairly new.
Yeah.
Before it was your choice, dealer's choice. You You want to get out here and not be covered, or you want to just have this as a just in case, just like prenuptials. You don't have to have it.
Prenuptials is another big conversation.
It is.
So how do people find themselves in the situations where their heart is broken or where they're frustrated about how things happen? I want to tap into this video real quick because I think it touches on a lot, maybe the foundational root when it comes to the difference between men and women and how frequently women experience heartbreak versus how frequently men do, if we're going to talk about accountability. So check this video out.
Grew up in the church, and I will always see women pray to God for a good man. Send me this man that I deserve. But then I always would ask my mom, and she would pop me in the mouth. And I would ask my mom.
I'm on her side. I'm about to do it right now.
Honestly, and this is how my brain works. This is not a joke. This is real. I would ask my mom. I would say, well, what about him? Like, why would God mess his life up by giving him you?
So you first of all, what I never hear you say. For some reason, you don't make men take accountability for their choices.
No, you missing
You
what I'm
blame
saying.
women for everything. No, you never make men take accountability for what they do.
I do, but what I'm saying is, this
I don't get that. Why is it always the woman's fault?
Because when you think about it, what I was taught in church was you treat people how you want to be treated.
Thanks.
Some of these women, guys know what they qualify for. They know they don't qualify for the top woman. Women will take the best option knowing that she gonna mess his life up, knowing that she gonna slow him down. When them women was in church praying, and I would look at her, and I would look at that booger wolf.
That is not nice. So, you can't call the booger wolves in church.
But everybody think they deserve Idris Elba.
But he not talking about the men who decided to date that though.
Everybody deserve Idris Elba, no matter what you look like.
Let me give you something.
These men still made the decision to deal with these women. Let me tell you, all these women who got kids, who got
grew up in a.
This is a good conversation, bro.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I wish I was on that panel.
I don't. Nah, that's not my environment. What would you say if you was on that panel, bro?
First, I ask her. I tell her that she's proving my point right now because you can't even let me speak. You got so triggered, you interrupted my whole mid sentence to try to yell your point across. You proving this man's point right now, and you don't even realize it. Women like you asking for this perfect man, and you can't even control your emotions on this stage right now.
Lord Jesus.
I'm just saying,
that I already know what video I'm playing next after you said something like that. So let's talk about this for a little bit. So I want to talk about his point first. He said that men know what they qualify for. Usually we'll lowball it, like, nah, you know what I'm saying to you, like, I know the kind of man I am. I ain't about to, yeah, but this one over here, she looked like she about that life, you know what I'm saying? She with the games or whatever like that, you know what I'm saying to you? Yeah. But when he said that, that really resonated with me because I have enough female friends to know that they all believe that they deserve the absolute best man. And when I sit back as their male friend and consider the self-work that some of them do and some of them don't do, and I dissect the amount of accountability they take, the amount of vision and responsibility they walk in their own life, I look at them and I dissect them and I put them in different categories in my brain. Yeah. And I'm like, y'all think y'all all the same?
It's crazy.
Like and I don't say anything because it ain't my place, but unless they ask me, I don't like to give unsolicited advice anymore. I'm just like, that's wild. So it makes me consider when I see certain people approach me and I'm just like, you think we're a match. What's my quote though, bro? It always goes back to, like, when we talk about heartbreak. True heartbreak is when what you desires you, but you're not prepared to give what you desire what it deserves. Oftentimes what we want, we have in no ways prepared for. And so by some chance that you find that thing wanting you back, it'll be like people say, never meet your hero, because now you have it, and it's and disappointment and heartbreak is inevitable because it's all you did was want it. You never prepared for it.
Yeah. And it's like, what What are you gauging as speaking about the women that he's speaking about in the video? Not because I would never make that statement blanketed for all women, but
he looked like he wanted to smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like I do that sometimes in the show because it's like y'all already know. And if you want to be triggered by,
we feel as men sometimes, though, right? And it's like what gauge are you? What are you gauging this level of? I deserve this kind of man on what like who
entitlement.
Yeah, but like from what though? Like because your last guy said you were, or because a lot of niggas is sliding in your DMs, or because you got a master's degree, or because you got a good job, or because you pretty. Like it's a bunch of pretty women out there. It's a bunch of women out there with master's degrees. A bunch of, but like I feel like some women don't realize like the kind of man that you want is looking for more than pretty. It's looking for more than a good credit score. It's looking for more than a good job. It's looking for more than I'm smart. Like
I think this goes back to bad friendship. I think that sometimes men and women are so adamant about uplifting and encouraging their friends that they lie to them and they start telling them what they deserve. You don't deserve that, but they want you to get out of the slumps. They want you to have self-esteem, even if they build it on delusion, even if they build it on lies, even if they build it on gaslighting. Girl, don't worry about him. You are perfect and you deserve the best.
Lying. No, you lying to your home. This is supposed to be your people.
It's supposed to be your people.
Just like Donnie will tell me the truth. Just like Dub, I had a conversation with Dub when I was going through these issues with Janae, and Dub told me, "Nigga, you tripping." Point blank. You wrong.
Not Mike, you don't deserve that. Like
no, nigga, you wrong. Fix that shit. Like, and I feel like if women had more accountability, then okay, girl, let's get dressed and go out to the club and go find a guy at the club tonight and flirt with and get drinks so we can forget about this. Yeah, like nah, like maybe you should refer to the nearest therapist so she can really get healed.
Refer to the nearest therapist, or some good old fashioned just accountability, like. Be a good accountability partner to this person. They've had the same goals every year for the last 5 years and haven't even started anything. But this right here, I just want to put it up and we can keep going. Shanna, appreciate you for this. She said, "Life says don't be a nickel looking for a dime."
Hey.
I love it, but sometimes dimes like nickels. And I think that the people are almost betting on being the exception.
The caveat, like
yeah, like you see that guy, he's super in shape or whatnot. But one time I saw a guy that was super in shape and his girl wasn't in shape at all. So and you're like, not all guys, saying like that. But I think that speaking as a guy who is in shape, what I'm looking for is not someone necessarily in shape, but someone who is adamant about self-improvement.
That's good.
Because where they're at in their journey physically shouldn't be a determiner. It's about where they're aiming for. What is their daily routine? What are they about?
Yeah.
Even if the fruit is not evident in the outcomes, but their daily routine shows me, they're about that life. And they may never get there, honestly, but the fact that that's their mindset, that's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying to you? Because sometimes you get meet somebody with good genetics and just horrible everything else. And that's what you're inviting into your life. You just bounce back after 2 or 3 kids and but it's not because you're healthy. You know what I'm saying to you? And so when we get together and I'm trying to take us places and eat better, or we have kids and I'm talking about diet, none of that is appealing to you, and you can't add any value to that conversation because that's not something you do. You just happen to have good genetics, right? And so what are we teaching our children? You know what I'm saying? What are we exposing one another to? Versus it's late night and I want ice cream, chocolate, and some sugar, right? You know what I'm saying? And you're like, man, I do too, babe. But you know what's going to feel? You know what's going to feel even better than that? You know what I'm saying to you?
Before we get into this next video, I want to tap into this real quick.
Oh Lord, go ahead.
Got a tough question for Dono. Please don't kill me. I am curious to know how much of your personality that you expose to others, like in the podcast, at work, etc., do you feel it is authentic from 1 to 100%?
Jesus, that's a tough question. I am curious to know how much of your personality that you expose to others, like in the podcast and work, do you feel is authentic? How much of my personality is authentic at work and on the podcast? How much is authentic? I'm going back to the conversation earlier. We said about what's stretching and what's me pretending. I'm gonna use that as my gauge for authenticity, right?
Yeah.
I feel very, huh?
No, I was gonna tell her. I know you didn't ask me, but I want to weigh in on this too. But go ahead. I want to hear what you got to say first.
I will say I feel 90% stretched at work. I don't pretend at work, but I'm 90% stretched. That's not my default personality at work.
Okay. Is it authentic though?
Yeah, it's authentic because it's driven by being stretching myself. It's a side of me that my mom ensured that I had as a kid. I look very much like an extrovert to my coworkers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And anybody that knows me knows that
I don't want to say it all, bro.
knows that I've prayed for social battery expansion. On the podcast, this isn't a stretch at all. This would be, I would say, I don't know, I'll probably put this at the 80 percentile of just being authentically who I am. There's certain things that I just don't say and won't say because I'm more private and more of an introvert. You're like, but you say so much, but just imagine what I don't say. Mike knows.
Yeah.
Mike, I hit Mike with the wombat when we went to lunch. I brought my journal to lunch, and I said,
"Listen, when I saw the journal, I already knew what time it was. I knew what type of time it was about to be on."
I said, "Listen, it's legacy lunch, bro. See, this is." I've learned to take advantage of the brothers that I have for the strengths that they have. And so when I showed up and I said, "Hey, Mike, here's some lies that I'm trying to work through," Mike's sitting there listening like, "Do you want me to listen or you want me to comment?" I'm like, "No, just listen." Accountability. Yeah. And then we went on to the next conversation. So yeah, there's so much on here that I don't share. You know what I'm saying? People are here like, "Well, I heard you cuss on the podcast." No, I definitely, especially in the gym, you know what I'm saying? And I generalize a lot in my private life. I'm more shallow probably than people know on the show, because I love having deep discussions about things philosophically, but I do embrace my shallow side as well. So yeah. Well, how'd you want to weigh in on that, bro?
No, you hit the nail on the head. That's pretty much what I was gonna say. Work versus the podcast versus personal interaction.
Shanna said no fat ankles. Ooh, that's what eating them lava cakes at late at night to get you. Oh, I love that lava cake. Okay. So check this out. Because Maya said, "I think you have to be realistic when you're putting yourself out there, giving your heart and time to someone else. There's always a possibility of getting hurt. I've decided to live my life for experiences as opposed to trying to look for or reach some end goal. Depriving myself from truly living because I'm worried about how something may or may not turn out is not what I'm doing."
That's beautiful.
Do we have a clapping hands or?
Yeah, no, we had one. We did all our shit, but
I did. I might have. Yeah. Man, what do? Here we go. Let's just go with that one. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, here we go. Yeah. Okay. That's man. Yeah, I need to put some of the stuff. Yeah, that one. Sheesh. Okay. Man, that's really good, man. That's really good. All right. She said, "I don't understand 90% keep it real." That's the best I can explain it based on how I understood your question. I'm sorry. Yeah, because I didn't understand that 1 to 100% at the end, but hopefully it made a little more sense than it had before that question was asked. Before we go to the next video, Mike, question from Dulce. She said, "If you're trying to date, where is a good place to search for a quality partner?" I got an answer for this, but what would you say?
She's talking well. I feel like the answer is different for men and women. I don't know her religious background, but I don't believe that women should be searching to begin with. So that's kind of difficult to answer, because as a woman, I don't feel like you should be out there searching, looking for a man. I feel like that's the man's job.
She said she's a Christian.
Oh, well then you already know then. The man should be trying to find you. You shouldn't be trying to find him.
I've never heard this side of you, Michael. I'm interested. What's going on here? What are you telling me right now? What are you telling me?
As much as I like, it's so funny too, because as much as I like aggressive women that like pursue, like when I've been pursued in the past, as much as I like that, I don't feel like that would ever.
They don't qualify for a relationship because they're aggressive, even though I like it.
They didn't for me.
That's wild.
The person that I chose, I was the aggressor, for lack of better words. I pursued her. She didn't pursue me.
So you like to be pursued, but being pursued is a turnoff.
I like to be pursued, but getting the ring is not what pursuing. Somebody that pursued didn't get the ring. The person that got the ring was the person I pursued.
But you enjoyed being pursued.
Yeah, she does stuff now.
I'm talking about that's just fascinating to me. I've never heard that. I'm not sure I agree with that, even as a Christian. I'm just like, okay. I would have to get some clarity behind what do you mean by search.
Well, because I'm going based on the scripture. A man that findeth
a wife findeth a good thing.
Not a woman that findeth a husband. Not a woman that findeth like. If I find a wife, that means that I had to go look. I had to go search. That's the only way you find something is if you're going to look for it.
I found a lot of stuff by accident.
Listen, you also just now getting back in the dating, so.
Listen, we both got spotty passes. Let's not do that. Listen, neither one of us qualified.
She's talking about like somewhere she can just go out.
She said this is what she said to you, Mike. She said, "I'm not going to find anyone at home. I definitely don't pursue men."
Oh, she said, "I'm at the house. Where can I go to get chose?"
Search for a quality partner.
Yeah, definitely
to be exposed to. You said definitely not church, Mike.
Yeah, definitely not church. I'm not
gonna hold you.
Don't go to church to try to find a good partner. Some people do it. It's been terrible for the people that I know and myself in the past. Places to go.
Go ahead. I got an answer for this, bro.
I say it's like places that you're interested in. If you're interested in like the museums and things like that, go there and go by yourself and go and enjoy yourself. You'll be surprised what comes your way when you're not looking for it.
This is wild. One of my other Christian friends said definitely not church. What is wrong with trying to find somebody at church?
Listen, I'm a PK, so I know the inner workings of the. You was in the choir. You knew what was going on in the choir.
I'm a good guy. Great. Find me at church.
Oh hell no! His answer.
I was good-ish. Nigga, I was good-ish. All right. All jokes aside, so when she said search for a quality partner, this goes back to my life coaching, right? And so when first 3 questions I asked on a logical levels pyramid for my clients is, what's your identity? What's your purpose, your identity, and your values? You, like Mike said, I think the best place to find someone of value is to understand what you first value. What's quality to you? What's quality to you is based on what you value. And so whatever you value usually has a behavior. It has a routine. It has a hobby. And so putting yourself in those spaces already creates, I don't want to say it creates an opportunity for chemistry, but it kind of does, because there already is an agreement or a mutual interest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying to you? So whatever that thing, and for some people it is God, it is church, and you know what I'm saying, it is someone that worships, it is someone who goes to church on their own that you don't have to take, or you know. And so I think that it is a good place. I think it's awkward for a lot of people to approach or pursue someone at church. I don't think it's awkward or hard to meet someone. I think that meeting is really based on who do I find attractive, and do I think that we have enough commonalities to maybe want to get to know each other. I think that church is a great place for that. Yeah. But
So you supposed to be focused on the word, and you over here looking at ankles.
Bruh, listen, it's all in the same wheelhouse.
Bruh, listen to me.
It's all in the same wheelhouse for me. See, listen, this is why I believe that people got church mixed up. You know what I'm saying to you? Because it's almost like would I feel bad for finding someone I was interested in at the grocery store?
Yeah, nah.
I mean, yeah, I know it's there for groceries, but there's so much more that could happen there with people who like to come there. Like, y'all should be in community. Y'all should get to know each other. Y'all should get married and have kids and grow this church. You know what I'm saying to you? Like, I think that sometimes it's like that there's this religious and legalistic mindset that, you know what I'm saying, people shouldn't be walking around when someone's praying, or they shouldn't be looking at, I remember I was in Texas and I was with a group of men and we went to go have lunch, and these women walked by and they were like, don't look at that. That's lust. And I'm like, I'm single. You're married. Don't you look, nigga. I'm trying to find out who my wife is. So if I see a woman that's attractive, you're telling me I'm wrong for I'm trying to find a wife. Well, that you can't be looking.
And to me, that's why I said not church, because of that religious, of that. I say religious to a fault. You know what I mean?
Listen, buck the system. Go in there and buck the system. Listen.
I agree 1,000%. What's that video that we showed where our girl was it was an old intro, and I was like, hey now, but she was in church. She was moving.
I bet she got married within the week. Miss Austin said, I agree, not church. I'm a praise dancer. What is going on? What is the problem? What?
They nasty.
Wow.
They nasty. They nasty.
Let's just cut to the chase.
All in the alto section. All the altos nasty.
What do you think the church is made of? These are just human beings trying to walk out a spiritual path. They're not angels. You know what I'm saying? And then if you go to a church with a lot of people pretending to be angels, I understand why you say not your church. But would be for any place where people are pretending to be something that they not.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
In the world, though, you don't even gotta worry. Most of you know what you get when you go out in the world, and you go into the club and you go into church. When you go to church, you're not thinking. I'll keep that to myself.
Did the Holy Spirit grab your tongue, brother?
He did.
Yeah, and that's why it's 80% authenticity on this show. There it is, right there.
Mid-sentence.
Dulce, Allie said, go to Home Depot or Lowe's. That way, you for sure got you a man that can fix some things.
And he's gonna be Hispanic. No, no, just caught up to you. It's fine. It's fine. Nothing is off limits on this podcast. It's
clearly not. Yeah. Let me tell you what I'm gonna do, bro. Oh God, Michael, getting us canceled. First episode of the year. And here comes all the Hispanic text. All right. Mike.
Maybe this will help the podcast.
Oh man. What did she say? She said, it's my place of worship. Not saying I'd block the blessing if I met my husband there, but most of the men in church ain't ready for a wife from what I've witnessed, and they like to sneaky date, taking the whole congregation of women on coffee dates. Listen, he's trying to...
Collecting data. I get it.
This is bruh. Come on, man. Like, if you dating a lot of women in the same community, it's because you probably want a woman from that community and the other one didn't work. Now, if you're doing it all at the same time, guess what? That's still dating until it's exclusive. And I don't think that I'm very careful when I hear the phrase, like, I'm trying to find my husband. You gonna find a husband before you find a friend?
Hello.
Maybe find a friend, then find a husband. I mean, like, how are you going to find a husband? But that's just me. You may have a protocol. I don't know. I just think that my protocol is find a friend before I can find a wife, because when times get hard, I think I'm gonna need that friend more than I'm gonna need that spouse. That's just the way my brain working today. So that's all. Hold on. I think it depends on how you're looking at the lady. Like, are you looking at her lustfully, like she's a piece of meat, or are you interested in finding out more about her, like how her mind and her heart are set up? Sometimes, sometimes it's crazy. It's crazy the amount of constraint that you want us to initially engage with you in, and then later on while we're in a relationship, do you find me attractive? Are you really into me? You don't really hold my hand. You don't really kiss me. Like, I'm a PDA person, right? In a relationship, which means that when I'm not in a relationship, there's a certain lens that I look at people that I might be interested in because I know when it's appropriate, I'm PDAing. You know what I'm saying to you? So it's often like we sometimes shoot ourselves in the foot trying to create a conservative or restrict the man to be so conservative when we know later on we're going to want something different. Let him walk in a amount of self-control that he feel comfortable with. And if that doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work for you. But don't mess around and try to act like, oh, this is too much and that's not, but you know that you're going to want it later on. You know what I'm saying? Just like find a way to have a conversation about it, but don't make a person feel bad about doing something that you actually like, but you just feel like it's inappropriate if other people see you liking it.
Yep, I like that a lot. And these are this proves my point. These are the conversations that come along with dating people at church. I don't want to have this. I don't want to have a conversation. I don't want you to feel awkward. I don't want you because I want to hold your hand when we're walking into church. You let my hand go because I don't want. Okay. All right. No.
Yeah, man. Listen, so going back to what Dulce said, Dulce said, I've been to Home Depot many times to purchase goods, no quality there yet. That ain't that.
So right when you pull in, you're going to see about 16 trucks. They're going to have the
Mike. I'm
trying to get somebody citizenship tonight. Let the Lord work. I'm done. I told you I was on 5. I told you I was on 5 tonight. You chose to do the show anyway.
Oh, listen, man. Between you about to get us canceled, Gingy texted me, said, you breathing hard. You upset? Listen, I got triggered over here. Golly, it's rare. One of them topics get me. This one got me. Nigga, I'm telling you. Why in the world? Oh, man.
I was going to send you a text like, bro.
Yeah, I rarely get there, but it got me today. This is one of them subjects, nigga. Golly, because that's wild, man. I think I'm still a little tender in certain areas. Like, it's crazy how I've coached people and I've talked to people and I've seen people shoot themselves in the foot because what they want isn't appropriate in the societies that they roll in. So they're trying to pretend like they don't want it. And they mess around and get what society approves of only to be unfulfilled in the relationship they approved of because they didn't really go for what they wanted.
And you know what? I agree with that 100%. And then it also works on the polar opposite of that. You only going for this guy because you think, oh, all these women we just gonna use church since we at church. All these women in the church, they all on him, and so he expressed interest in me, and I know everybody else want him, so I'm gonna just go ahead and go on a date with him because I know that's who everybody. No, if that's not what you want, that's not what you want. And if that is what you want, then that is what you want.
Listen. Why don't play with your future like that? Because the same people that you worried about judging you probably won't even be there in the future.
And they probably got their own stuff that they doing.
And they ain't gonna kiss you in public.
Right. Ooh, right. All y'all can do is go to the movies and sit in the back because he don't want nobody to see you with him.
And the same man that 10 years from now you're gonna ask, do I look fat in his dress? When you first meet him, he gonna probably look at you like this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Mm-hmm. But that's inappropriate. But he gonna always find you sexy because he didn't even know you and he was finding it. Now you want to get with a conservative man that got to search for reasons to give you a compliment, nigga. Please. All right. Before I get turned up again. All right.
Hey, listen, we can. Okay.
Listen, we can. Let's get canceled. My first day back. I'm here. I'm here for it, bro. I'm here for it.
It's just so sad. It's just so sad how people act like they're not human because you in church. If this brother is fine to you, he fine.
Listen,
this woman is fine to you, she fine. If you want to go up and tell her, hey, I was in service and I saw you walk by, and let me just tell you, you are beautiful.
Come on, man.
Listen, what are we doing?
Versus trying to go online and find one of those Christian pickup lines that got a Bible verse attached to it.
Or going to try to find her name. You didn't stole her dead offering card to get her name out of it, so you can look her up on Facebook.
Listen, man, there's certain places when I get married, I'm not taking my Bible with me. You don't want me to. Like, you know what I'm saying? I get it, but there's other ways to verify if somebody's serious about God and they serious about their faith versus every word being a scripture. Car says you niggas, the men in black. Listen, we came into the new year like, listen, we gotta just talk about it. Listen, one of my friends just said, I feel like every woman hopes that their man is lusting after them. We want to be desired. So if you don't want
to start when you get married, I've been lusting after you since I seen you sitting in church and you had a piece of that thigh out.
A piece of that thigh, and you didn't have a wrap on it. You didn't have the when you told when you told the mother boy I ain't using this lap cloth, I knew you was the one for me. I knew it at that point. I said, if you don't let them knees and ankles breathe in Jesus' name. Listen, huh? Okay. I just need to breathe. I just need to breathe.
But it's a real thing. It's a real thing.
It's so real.
Y'all, people are living in bondage because of a building. Like, no.
No.
Building bondage. No. No.
Oh Lord. I don't even know. We're gonna spend listen. Women in church also make the dating experience worse, low key. The second they see their man, quote unquote, who's not their man, talking to you, it causes chaos because maturity is lacking. But these are things that humans do. I think for me, I try not to say it's the church. I try to say it's not Christian women or Christian men. It's just men and women.
Yeah.
Some are just on a spiritual path trying to incorporate certain principles and philosophies and theologies into their life. Other people are not, but they still struggling with the same carnal nature, just in a whole different way. But it usually shows up the same way. Except for certain people with spiritual disciplines have a certain kind of resolve when their issues show up or when they're triggered. Oh boy, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. Okay. You ready for the next video, bro? Who is on here? My sis. What up, Fee? She's on here. Genji tapped in for a second. She says she's going to bed. Good night. All right, man. Gee whiz. Okay, so check this out. Here's a video that I wanted to follow up behind that last video. This is a left. We're gonna make a left down the street, but it's gonna probably make sense. You ready for it, bro? You got some more comments you need to put up on the screen.
Let's go.
If my husband talked to me the way that I talk to him sometimes, I would be in a literal puddle. Sometimes I am so mean to that man, and he's always so kind. And I know that if he ever returned the same words and the same tone, I would cry.
You know what the saddest part is that I can't even say that this man can only take so much and that he will someday potentially leave, and you're going to be left thinking, why? What happened? I honestly can't say that because I don't think that's what's going to happen, because I know good men and I know that they will stay. I think that a lot of that has to do with men actually loving greater than women. They love and stay even when there's a lack of kindness, effort, reciprocation, happiness. So when a woman comes on and she's very obviously aware of her lack of kindness, for her to not talk about sitting down with her husband and taking accountability and apologizing on top of changing, it's kind of sad.
We're going to have, we're going to have this conversation with a healthy amount of assumptions, and I'm ready for it. Let's go.
Yeah. I always try to not be one-sided with topics. I always say, well, it's not just for women, it's for men too. But on this one, it might be a little one-sided because that's crazy that she can sit here like smiling, eating her food, talking about how she's a shit-ass wife, and if this were to happen to me, I'd be devastated. But I guarantee you, she probably didn't change after that video. Nothing about that video said, I'm wrong and I need to change. All it said was, I can't believe how much of a good man that I have because he's willing to put up with my shit and not go nowhere.
So this goes back to the conversation the guy was having on the panel about, knowing she don't deserve a good guy, but, still going for him. And the lady said, but he still chose her. and he still chooses not to leave. And so as much as we look at her and she's like, yo, you're trash for that, what is he doing?
Trying to honor his commitment. Because I was that guy, and when I was married to Denham's mom, like I went through a lot of abuse, verbally, emotionally, physically, and I stayed for a long time because I'm like, you know what? I made this commitment to God. I'm gonna really try to just work this out. I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna try to work this out. And literally, it was terrible. I should have got out immediately, but I didn't. I stayed for the simple fact of this is what I said I was going to do. And I'm not going to lie to you. Some of that was ego. Like, nah, I'm not going to let this get the best of me. Some of that was I done told these people that I was marrying this girl and they told me not to. So I'm going to prove them wrong. Some of that was that. You know what I mean? But it's different reasons why dudes stay in fucked up situations.
I'm gonna say it like this again with a healthy amount of assumption. That's not the kind of behavior that just shows up in marriage. So that's pre-commitment behavior. So again, in the dating arena, in the interest arena, what was that man thinking? And I've heard this in premarital counseling. It's like sometimes we think that if I marry her, the behavior will change.
Sometimes we're told that I'll be this way when you marry me.
Once you give me a commitment, once you give me a ring, I'll change. And if that's the kind of transactions we like, bruh, like. So this is always going to be contingent on you getting something you want. So that means that it's not really who you are, or you're intentionally withholding it to get something else that you want. And if that's the dynamics, then I think, fellas, you know what I'm saying, we have to stop fooling ourselves. And I'm speaking to myself as well. Yeah, like I've been in that situations before to where I'm like, okay, yeah, you know what I'm saying? If she feels safe, if she feels chosen, if she feels this, then this will change. And I had to get to a place to where I'm like, if I'm being me and me being me doesn't make you feel safe, then I'm not the one for you. If I'm being me and I'm doing all the stuff that me does and I'm walking in authenticity and you don't feel like love doing all kind of stuff, then I'm not the one for you, because I'm doing me and I'm willing to move within the scope of stretching myself. But if I have to start pretending just so that you can feel like I'm providing, then what we're creating is fake. And we can only pretend for so long. And so I had to stop contributing to that because it takes two people, right? And so now I'm in a place to where even like, you know, I get ready to go into this dating, like, guess where I'm going on dates? Where I want to go.
Yeah. I'm
not willing to take somebody somewhere on a date that I don't want to go to. Because what am I creating? You know what I'm saying? In that environment that, okay, this is, you know, we talked about that bucket list dating. If I'm looking for someone to spend my life with and to marry that wants to do things that I want to do, not all the things in the dating arena, it's like, okay, well, I plan on going here. I'd love for you to, you know, be my guest and to come with me. Then that's the kind of thing. But finding myself over and over again in places I don't want to frequent, just so she can smile. Again, I think that's marriage behavior. That's, you know, the kind of investment I'm making in somebody that I've already made the commitment to, that I just want it brings breath to my lungs just to see her happy and excited. But if you're a stranger, I don't even know you.
Yeah, I agree with that. In light of the video, and talking about marriage, it's so important. Or again, talking from the man standpoint, like it's so important because initially, as men, I'll just talk about my situation. Initially, as a man, I told myself, okay, this is something that I can handle. Like, I'm going to marry this person. Things will smooth out. It'll be okay. But literally, what I was doing when I was putting up with certain behaviors, certain actions and things through the relationship, what I was doing was like just making small little slits on my wrist, small little slits, and they start bleeding. I'm like, okay, let me just put a Band-Aid on that. Small little slits. So by the time the relationship actually ended, like I'm just like gushing blood, right? So that relationship ends. I put some Band-Aids on, but the still bleeding through the Band-Aids, and then I find Janae. And now I'm bleeding all over Janae. So now she got blood bleeding all over Denham, bleeding all over the house, bleeding all over anybody I try to come in contact with. I'm just bleeding all over Donnie because what I've done for so long in our relationship by trying to be, I'm going to honor my commitment. I'm going to be this good husband. I can love her into being the woman for me and all this. I'm just like slowly killing myself. And we don't know that. We think, I thought in that moment, this is what good husbands do. We become the punching bag. Like literally.
Yeah, man.
We become the punching bag because at the end of the day, I can say, I did everything I could do for fuck that. No. I know, a lot of people say God don't believe in divorce, and that's a conversation I have to have with God when I get there because fuck that. If you're in a bad situation and you know that, this is legit, like it's gonna get to the point to either she's gonna kill me or somebody's gonna end up in jail or dead. No. There's no like certain things that I don't gotta pray about that. I need to leave.
You said something in one of the previous podcasts, and you said that there's certain perspectives, there's certain things you think about that change your picker. They change your perspective of dating. And this is one of those things. Knowing that divorce is real, knowing that usually, and I think in America, they say 80%, 70% of the time, women are the ones initiating the divorce. It does make you, or it can make you look for specific things in the dating arena to see how does this, one of the things that I love and for me, because I'm a friend first type person before I want to date or get in a relationship, I like to look at my female friends and how do they act when they don't get their way. A lot of times people were disqualified so long ago, and as Mike said, friend zoned, because there's certain behaviors that may seem minuscule to other people, but they're major to me because I've been around enough married people. I've been in enough, workshops to understand that it's those little things that will eat away at the happiness and the fulfillment and the peace of a home or a marriage. Yeah. And it's like when you don't get your way, are you vindictive? When you don't get your way, do you immediately become petty, or is there a grace that comes over you? Yeah, there might be anomalies in different moments, but what's your go-to? What is the pattern that we consistently see? And even with myself, how am I when I don't get my way? How am I, when things don't, when someone challenges me? To you? And those are the kind of things that I'm looking at, not to necessarily change, but to recognize, like, am I operating in the optimal version of myself? And am I reserving myself for someone who's truly into me? Not just they like the most of it. They'll get this car from the lot, but as soon as they take it off the lot, they're taking it to the customizer. Yep. Like, I want to change these seats, change these rims, and change this engine. But I like the shell. Yeah. I like the body, but I just want to. And it's almost like, man, like you gotta, I did not pay attention to that in the past. How many people were into the certain things about me, but the parts of me that I really valued, the way that I think, to you, I couldn't be with, let me say it though, I don't think I could be with someone who adamantly believes I'm an overthinker.
Yeah. Because
I know that I have friends who think that way, and that's great because they help challenge and reform my mind, but there's a certain level of understanding I would like for the person who's into me to have of why my process is my process. To you, but to want me to think more like you because that's how you think, with no legitimate explanation of how this may be healthier, how it may be more helpful, just because I want you to think how I think and do how I do. I don't see how that creates an environment for that I could live in, that I could breathe in. And I think that sometimes people are sacrificing unnecessarily in that arena instead of finding someone that breathes the same air as them, not likes all the same things, not does all the same things, but at least breathes the same air, that can understand each other even if they don't agree, that can appreciate something about them even if it's different from how they are.
Yeah. I agree with that because when people start operating that way, it seems like, you don't want this version of me. You want a version of you in me. You want to date yourself but you want me to be the shell of you know what I mean? You really want to date you, and I'm just a nice package to put you in. So you want me to think like you want me to like the stuff that you like, you want me to dress the way you want me to dress, you want me to go to places you want to go, you want me to go to the church you want me to go to. Hey, listen.
And let's not confuse that with wanting to explore certain things with me and say, hey, have you ever tried doing this or wearing this? Yeah. But when you're mandating it to the degree to where it's like it's a deal breaker if I don't. Yeah. Like you're not really into me.
You're not.
And I love to tell people, if I ever operate in a deal breaker, then break the deal.
That's it. It's easy.
I'm not asking you to don't make any extra accommodations for me. If I'm not the exception, don't try to pretend that I am.
Yep.
Break the deal as soon as I show you a red flag. Yep. And one of my friends asked me years ago, and I was like, yeah, I like to show the things that are the most unique about me up front, just so that you can see immediately, like, oh, no. You're nice to look at from a distance. I don't necessarily need to engage with you like that. Like, you know, people think, oh, you're just, you know, I've heard you're cocky and you're into yourself. You're full of yourself. You know, you think everything revolves around you. I've heard all these things, and I'm like, I'm so happy that you have a really good grasp of who you think that I am. So now move appropriately.
Right. I'm not going to even try to show you any different. If that's what you think, go with that.
Because I've been showing you who I am. If that's how you've interpreted me, let me tell you one thing before I start breathing heavy again that I struggled with in the past, and I finally had to get to a place of surrender. I'm never going to be enough for a woman whose interpretation of me or interpreter doesn't like me.
Yep.
And so where that stems from is that in past relationships or past interests that I've been in, it's like all the things that I did were compared or taken through a filter that never showed me in the best light. And it wasn't because of what I was doing. It was the way their filter was set up continued to show me to them in a way that was displeasing, that was disappointing, that was always lacking. And I recognized that there's nothing she can do about that.
No.
That's her filter.
She made up her mind.
That's and unless you go to like some intense therapy or some intense coaching like I have before, like that's your filter. You're always going to interpret my effort as something that I'm intending. You're going to always miss my intention. And so when people interpret me now, I'm like, that's okay. That just, for me, it just helps me know where I belong in your life versus where I used to be very accommodating.
Yeah.
Put on my valet jacket, my butler's tie. Yeah. And what else do you need, man?
Yep.
Listen, all that role playing is for marriage. I ain't doing that in the dating environment.
Hello.
Let me show you who I am. Show me who you are. It don't take a whole day to recognize sunshine, but a lot of times people don't want to admit that they seeing what they seeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right. Yeah. I'm ready to get out of here, bro. Could we close out with this?
One of the greatest things I learned from a relationship coach, she said, we don't fall in love with the other person. We fall in love with the version of us that we get to be through and with the other person. Because love becomes so personified. It's over there with them, so then devastation happens if they leave. It's like, well, the love is over there. No. They're the catalyst to reveal the love that is your nature. So who were you with that man? That's what you want. You don't want him. You want the you that you were with him.
Right, it was just so open.
Yeah, there was a joy, there was a freedom. You had a sense of possibility for the future, what was going to happen, the family, the marriage, the trips. But you generated that.
Yeah.
You just associated it with him. And the lie is, because he's not in your life, that you've lost that.
Yeah. Okay, so you're able to replicate like very, very deep love with literally anyone.
That's my nature.
That's really the most beautiful thing I've ever heard, honestly.
We might have just cracked you open to your real nature, yeah.
He's taking her home.
Man, I was just about to say, she just fell in love right there. Listen, we may have just cracked. We may have just opened you up to.
You definitely did that.
So, what do you think about what he said, though, man? Like, it's the version of yourself that shows up when you're around them that you love.
It was definitely an aha moment for me in the relationship that I'm in now, because I feel like when a person can show you parts of yourself that maybe you've never seen, or maybe you didn't like, and then you can fall in love with those parts of yourself. It's crazy. Like, I feel like I've never been in love with me as much as I've been in this relationship that I'm in now with Janae. And I know that's because of Janae. Because she hasn't made me do the work, but she's made me want to do the work. You know what I'm saying? So the more I do the work on myself and find out new things in myself, it's like, oh man, I remember I didn't used to, like being emotional. I remember I just didn't used to like opening up at all. And now that I do, like, I like sharing, I like talking, I like being vulnerable.
But see, the thing about it that
doing before.
You've always, this is something you told me. You would tell me you've always liked it. You just couldn't do it in front of certain people. You told me that I may not be an introvert. I just may not have found the people I like to hang out with yet. And so it's interesting, the things that we say that we don't like, only because of the people that we've been around, that we couldn't like it in front of them, or wasn't supported in front of them. And so I think that, again, when I have a healthy perspective of my past relationships, and I'm no longer bitter, or I'm not angry that things didn't go the way that I wanted to, and I get past that, ego trip. Remember Mel from the gym?
Yeah.
So I was talking to Mel today, and so she was like, "I haven't seen your boy." I was like, "Yeah, I know. Me, him, and his fiance, we working out here sometimes and stuff like that. But we're getting ready for the wedding, all that kind of stuff." And she's like, "Oh yeah," and stuff like that. And I was like, "Man, my boy getting married, and I got to get married too." She was like, "What?" I was like, "Yeah, my boy get married. I get married." She said, "You want to get married?" I was like, "For sure." She was like, "I hardly hear men, say that in general." And I was like, I said, "I love how I am in a relationship. I love who I am and how I show up in a relationship. I know that environment is for me." And I also know that I have to be a little bit wiser about who I choose to co-create that environment with, because I am already ready to show up a certain way in a relationship, because I just love to be, I'm going to say it how it is. And if I grow out of it, or if it's a phase, I'm going to say it, but I love to be someone's man. I love to be someone's go-to. I love to be someone they can depend on. You know what I'm saying? I love to be that person for one woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying to you? And I've never been married. I've only done that in a relationship phase and a dating phase, but I know how good it feels. So I can imagine how good that would feel in marriage. At the same time, I should not be quick and loose to just offer that to anybody, but I love who I am and I love myself in those spaces. You know what I'm saying to you? And so just going back to this video, you know what I'm saying? If that's what makes me the most grateful about the people that I have been able to share that space with, that, y'all helped me experience that side of me that only comes out in that space. And so thank you for that. Even though it didn't go the way that I wanted to go, I got a chance to see me in a light that I love to see me in.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, especially since this is legit the first time that I felt like this in any relationship I've ever been in my life. So it's dope to see when you're in your 40s that you can still find somebody that can make you feel this way, and that can bring these things out of you and bring these things to the forefront. Stuff that you either try to hide, or like you said, stuff that you didn't feel safe expressing. Now it's like, shit, nigga, I'll sit there and cry in the gym. I don't give a shit. I don't think what you want. Either I'm going through something, or I'm happy about something, or I just need to release in that way. I don't care. Like it's like you've been walking around with a certain viewpoint of the world in general, and then you find somebody that, unlocks a whole new idea or a whole new outlook on the same thing you've been looking at the whole time. You know what I'm saying? It's like those pictures back in the day where it'd be a whole bunch of whatever, and they say step back 5 feet and look and just stare at the middle of the picture, and then you see a whole new picture in that same picture you've been looking at. That's what this is. I ain't looked at a different picture. This is the same picture I've been looking at my entire life. I never saw this though before.
It's interesting though, because you made this analogy once about the armor that you have to wear around certain people. When you get around other people, you get to take that armor off. And sometimes the thing that's prohibiting or impacting your vision is the armor that you feel like you have to wear. And when you're around someone that you feel safe and loved and accepted and appreciated, and you take that armor off, it's like you fully see now. You're not trying to look through the lens of the helmet or the mask.
And that's hitting the nail on the head. I'm gonna go a step further. When you really find that person, which I know that I have, because also in that same analogy, it was like, you wear this armor for so long. When you take it off, you got bruises, you got scabs, you got old wounds that haven't healed yet. So once you take that armor off with the right person, not only do they allow you to really take it off and be comfortable, but they'll put the the ointment on your wounds, and they'll basically lick your wounds for you and make sure you're good, and they'll nurse you back to your peak state from having that armor on so long, because now you don't got to put it back on. I know I will never have to put up any walls, put on any armor dealing with the person that I'm dealing with right now. Never again in my life. And that is that's just an amazing thought, because I've worn armor my entire life.
Yeah.
Whether it's having to wear armor because I'm going to work, whether it's having to wear armor because I'm black, whether it's having to wear armor because I'm a big black dude with tattoos, whether it's having to wear armor because of people that I'm affiliated with. I've had to wear armor my whole life. So now to be able to find somebody that has allowed me to take that off and not even have to feel like I have to put it on no more, even when I go outside. Like, I feel so safe just in a relationship. Like, and the safety, it extends. It's not just, I'm safe when I'm with her. I'm safe when I go out into the world, knowing that I get to come back home to her.
Should we all be so blessed, man? I want to ask you one more question. It's from my nephew, and then we're going to close out the show. What up, Joe Kim? I see my nephew Brandon on here too. Joe Kim said, does this question now become, how do you now identify that person you want to put that version of yourself with?
Say it again.
So the question becomes now, how do you now identify that person you want to put that version of yourself with?
So I can just tell you my experience. I don't feel like, for me, it wasn't something that I was trying to identify. I feel like it was just it was almost, no matter how hard I couldn't when me and Janae first met, I told her I didn't want to be in a relationship. I do not want to do this with you or nobody else. Like, it was clear, but it just got to a point I'm almost fighting to keep the armor on at this point. And when I got to that situation, that point where, like, why am I trying to hold on to this wall so hard? Why am I trying to wear this armor that I've been trying to take off for so long? Once I felt like I got to that point, and I felt like she was able to just like seep into those deep places in my heart, I got to take this off. I need her all up in here.
Yeah, I want to feel it.
Yeah, I need all of that.
And so I'm gonna say that and go back to what my nephew was asking. There's Mike's been married and he's engaged, and I've never been married, but been close to certain things before. But I know for sure that there is a wanting that rises up inside of you. It's not a forcing. It's not a manipulating.
Nope.
It's not a have to.
Nope.
There's a get to that rises up inside of a man that helps him identify that situation and identify that person. There's a wanting and a get to that shows up inside of him. And I think before a lot of the emphasis is put on what I want or what I get to have, a man must recognize that whatever you acquire requires maintenance.
Yes.
So it's a responsibility.
Yes. Yep.
If you want it and you have an opportunity to get it and you want to keep it healthy and you want it to continue doing what it does for you, the first thing you step into is responsibility as a man. And that, if you don't know what that means, in essence, that means that responsibility is that the art and practice of putting your childish ways behind you.
1,000%. 1,000%. It becomes, and that responsibility, when you're with your person, when you're with the person that's for you, it don't even feel like responsibility. Like it's a joy to be able to be dog ass tired, long day, and be able to go and get brake lights and put them in her car for you, or get her car washed for you. That's a joy. That was the highlight of my day today. Dog ass tired, didn't feel like doing it, but the fact that I can do this for you, man, it makes it all worth it. And you don't gotta praise me. You don't gotta, oh man, you don't gotta even do all that, because I'm not doing it for that. I'm doing it because I get to do it, and it's a privilege to be able to do it.
And I get to because I'm wired to do this, but I've been looking for a place, you know what I'm saying, again, that is uniquely fitted in a certain way, right? You know what I'm saying, that this nature of mine, and it's not always about, like, a lot of people make you want to believe that the things that men do is always about the appreciation. It's not. It's just sometimes about the allowance. Just submit and allow me to be the man that I want to be for you. You know what I'm saying? I think we get a lot of joy out of you just letting us do it, even if there isn't a thank you or a big acknowledgement out behind it. I think that sometimes culture will have you thinking that, you know what I'm saying, that reciprocity and that appreciation is more big than it actually is. I think that in transactional relationships, those things hold more weight. They're appreciated. But when when the man is allowed to be the man and the woman is allowed to be the woman, and they're able to operate in their true operation system, they're able to flow in that.
Yeah,
it's beautiful, man.
I feel like this is a good closing statement right here. She said, to labor out of love is not to labor at all. Something my mom always says.
Amen to that.
That's it right there. That's it.
And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this episode. We gave y'all extra 22 minutes for the first episode of 2025, season 5. This has been a joy. This right here is a labor of love. That ain't a labor at all.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Yeah, man. Who praying out, bro?
I got it.
All right, for sure.
God, thank you for letting us see another year of life, Lord. Another year for us to make things better. Another year to get closer to you. Another year to forgive. Another year to make our lives better. Another year to make our relationships better with one another, family, friends, spouses. Lord, we just thank you for allowing us to have this platform to be able to share with each other in hopes that maybe it'll help someone watching, Lord. We thank you that we believe that whatever was said tonight did help someone, did at least raise a question within them to maybe better themselves, better a relationship, whatever the case may be, Lord. We thank you that going through this week that you surround us with your protective angels, Lord, keeping us safe. We thank you and praise you for your abundance. We thank you and praise you for wisdom. We thank you for ordering our steps throughout this week, Lord. We thank you for answered questions that, you know, we may be wondering about, maybe doubting some things that you may have told us, maybe just unsure of whether to go left or whether to go right. We just thank you for clarity. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Don't smile like that. It's so funny. It's so funny. That is so funny. Golly.
I'll see you backstage, nigga.
Yep.
We love y'all, man. Thank you for showing up tonight.
2 Chainz.